Ciao, Papa. Ciao, Mama.
Ciao, son. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Getting ready for graduation.
Are you sure you want to go to grad school?
Of course he does. Education is a great thing. It'll help him to succeed in business as well as help him to become a better, more moral person.
He's right, you know. Used to be that you could get by with basic knowledge about things, but now you have to be sure to read the right things and be certain to understand them correctly. Education is about edification, not just purely practical know-how.
I know.
But that doesn't mean you can be lazy with your math and business classes. The humanities are fine, but the practical knowledge is what helps you get ahead in life.
All right, Pa.
Oh, I'm sorry to skip out on you, son, but I've got to get to work, man of the house and everything.
That's okay, Papa. Have a good day at work.
Bye, dear. Bye.
What's so funny, Mama?
Oh, it's your father, head of the household and all that.
Why is that funny?
Well, son, the truth is, us mamas are the head of the house.
How's that? You stay at home and take care of the kids and of the house. We men do the working and the decision making.
I mean, is that so? Who is it that brings all the different families together? Who offers the sage advice to counter the recklessness of youth? Who's really in control?
What do you mean?
Let's take your cousin Vinny and your Uncle Carmine, for instance. Vinny married that nice Filippo girl out in Florence, and that was a big help to your uncle when he moved out there to start his restaurant. Now, Vinny's father-in-law, a real estate man, he gave your uncle a great deal for the restaurant, for the building. And they both ended up benefiting from that connection. Your uncle had a great location and got lots of business for his meatballs, and Vinny's father-in-law makes a good amount of money on that rent. So they're a tight community. And then there's you and Maria.
What about Maria and I? We're not married.
No, not yet you aren't. But you said you'd be moving in with her uncle this summer while looking for the apartment on campus. And he's doing you a big favor. He's letting you, a stranger, into his house and helping you get a foothold out there. All because of your connection to Maria. Now, you treat that man nice when you get there, and you listen to what he says to you, and you try and help him out as best you can.
I will, Mama.
You see, son, women influence the household immensely by their marriage ties. And when we get married, it works for the benefit of both families. Why do you think I was so picky about your girlfriends?
I suppose so, but doesn't that seem, I don't know, Machiavellian?
And what's wrong with Machiavelli? He is Italian, after all. But even before Machiavelli was born, our ancestors were using marriage as a tool to get ahead both socially and politically. The right marriage could elevate a lower middle-class family to a point where they could become influential in government. Even clandestine marriages, like the one in Romeo and Juliet, were carefully planned to have maximum political or social impact.
All right, but who arranged the marriages? Wasn't that the men's job?
It's true that men did play a major part in the selection of the wives, but women were not excluded. They often acted as advisors, and they often had a certain amount of control over the outcome. See, son, your father may be the head of the household, but I'm the neck, and the neck turns the head wherever it wants.
Okay, now what about that sage advice you mentioned before? What do you mean?
Well, in the case of our great-grandmother, whose husband had died, she ended up taking the consultant role on behalf of her children. She gave her sons recommendations on how to allot their money, on morality, on finance, on business, and even, of course, marriage. And they all listened to her.
But she was a widow. She only took on those responsibilities because there was no man in their life to do them for them.
If that was the case, son, then she was only burdened by the loss of a man. Then why did she not remarry? It's reasonable to suppose that she and other women would be doing the same things. Just, less noticeably. A testament to a woman's ability is that men would name them as a testimony agent of their estates and wills. So women were trusted to conduct business in the absence of men, and so we can assume they might have done so, with them as well. I mean, how else would the men trust them?
Okay. Okay, I see your point. Women have had and still have a considerable amount of influence in the family and in the home, even if it is more or less behind the scenes.
Yes, I will concede that your father makes the final decision, but such is the society we live in. Just don't forget, I've got